Core concepts. And when you come show us this first one, make sure you use the. This is where you're supposed to graph, guys.
And then after that, they go up 1, 2, 3, 1, and then it has a line number all the time, all the time, and then one plug in 0, 0, variable.
Alright, let's change up the background so you can see us working quickly 1 over. Step 4. So you can start with the -2 because you got the dot. And then you put 3 over 1. Alright, you said, I don't know why. Why can you do 3 over 1? Does anybody know? Eric? It's rise over 1. Check it, guys. If you type in your calculator 3 divided by 1, what will come out? 3. So you didn't change anything. That's why you can put it over 1. Alright, so then you went up 3 over 1. And then you picked a point. Remember, we can do X marks the spot. So you picked 0. You put in a 0 here and here, and he showed his work. So right here, 0, 3 times 0, 0. This comes up good. So we want to graph on the X marks the spot side. Good job, Kevin. Okay, copy down number 2. Draw yourself a new graph. Okay, so we just graphed number 1. We're on to number 2. Hey, hand in there. Where you start us? Terry, what would you do first on this one?
I would
Okay, he said he's going to see where it starts. He's looking at the X.
y-intercept.
There's no y-intercept.
I looked at the slope.
Uh-huh.
And that was something like just the X would be 1 over 1.
Perfect. He said he's going to look at the slope. So there's a 1, and he's going to put it over 1. So this is our slope. And he said there's no y-intercept. So what do you do if there's no y-intercept here? Start at 0, because we could change this to plus 0. So start at 0. Keep going, Terry. You're doing great. Up 1. Over 1. Okay, keep going. How come a dotted line? So it's just great, and then it can't equal it. So we've got a dotted line. Okay, Terry, now what are you going to do to figure out which side to graph, to shade on?
I would choose a point.
Which point do you want to choose?
-1.
-1, 1? Alright, I'm going to put it next there. I suggest you guys do that too. So he's going to use -1, 1. So that's X, that's Y. Keep going here.
And so I put 1 where the Y is.
1 where the Y is, so right here. Okay.
And then the -1 where the X is.
-1 where the X is.
And I would times -1.
Wait, you don't have to do any timing. Now you just have to look at it. Guys, check it. Would the crocodile rather eat the -1 or the 1?
1.
So is this good or bad? Bad. So do we want to shade on the bad part? No. There you go, Taryn. Good job explaining that one. There we go. Alright, so make a table on this one. So we've got an X and a Y. Because something happens with these on your table. So remember the trick on these tables? We're going to think of this as y equals 5, so we can graph it using our slope-intercept form. So if we're thinking of it as y equals 5, what's the only thing we can put here?
5.
Yeah, perfect. We can only put 5 there, because 5 is the only thing that equals 5. Does it matter what we put in for x? No. Just be nice to yourself. Let's use 0 and 1. Okay, so we can't move in the x direction. So 0 in the x direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the y. Next one, 1 in the x, 5. We've got 2 dots, so we can connect them. Alright, is this going to be a solid line or a dotted line?
Solid.
Alright, solid because it can equal it. Cover the whole graph, put your arrows on. Okay, and then let's use 0. Okay, we'll use 0, 0 again. Alright, so that will be 0 for the x. Wait, is there any x to put it into? So we just put it over the y? So I literally color over top. So let's just change this to a 0. Would the correct number rather be the 0 or the 5?
5.
So this is bad, that didn't work. So don't shade this way, we would shade purple. Guys, how many of you got that before I get on the board? Yeah? Make sure it's working. Alright, so we've got our x and our y. Okay, let's think of this as x equals 4, so we can graph it using slope-intercept form. Oh, and then slope-intercept form is a little bit wonky on this one. So let's do our table. What's the only thing we can plug in, and where do we plug it in? Karen, what?
We can only plug in 4.
Perfect. We can only do 4 for the x. Alright, Kaylee, does it matter what we put in for the y? What do you want to do then? Sure. Let's do 0 and 1. Good choice. Alright, so 4 in the x direction, 0 in the y. Next one, 4 in the x, 1 in the y. Alright, dotted or solid? Dotted. Alright, can we use 0, 0 on this one? Because when is the only time we can't use 0, 0? Yeah, when it's part of the actual line. Alright, here we go. So mark it right there. Can we put the 0 in the y? Is there any y to put it in? No, so just right here. Change that to 0. Would it rather the 0 or the 4? So is this good or bad? Yay! So shade in the good direction. Good enough?